Hey everyone, and welcome back to Vita versus 3DS. With the end of 2012 upon us, it's time for us to look back and reflect upon the best software released all year for either system. I've already done so with the 3DS, so in this video we'll count down the top 5 games to come out on the PlayStation Vita this year, in my opinion of course. So here we go. Coming in at number 5 is Gravity Rush. Gravity Rush starts off this list because although I reviewed the game and gave it an 8, praising its graphics, animation, and gameplay while knocking its music, presentation, and story, the game is very unique in the sense that it has the gravity mechanic is where you float around and how you locomote throughout the area hasn't been seen before in a game, and it really sets it apart from other open world games. It's also extremely smooth. Of course, if you play a lot of other open world games on Vita or any other system, you always sort of notice this little hiccups that appear. The frame rate's not as smooth or something like that. And Gravity Rush doesn't have that. It has, it's extremely polished, and it's really rare to see that in an open world game. And that really bodes well for the future sequel that's coming out, although they haven't released a release date, of course. But yeah, it bodes really well for the sequel to see how well this is running, and it definitely earns its top 5 spot for the Vita this year. Coming in at number 4 is Sound Shapes. So Sound Shapes is a unique music platformer where the goal is to collect these floating orbs, and each orb is representing a musical note. So after collecting many orbs, you complete the music. It has some really big name artists who have contributed their talents to this project, such as Beck or deadmau5 or Jim Guthrie and others. The campaign is relatively short, but it is $15, first of all, and there is a little bit to do afterwards, such as the beat school or the challenges or in death mode and stuff. But where the real longevity for this game comes from is the created levels, and many of these are really, really great. It does keep me back coming once in a while to check to see the new levels or the hearted creators that I've hearted to see what they've done. And it's only $15, and you get the PS3 version for free. So really, this is well deserved the praise it's been getting this year and the awards it has been winning. So this comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is Uncharted Golden Abyss. This is the darling of the Vita launch, as many of you already know, mostly because of how the game looks. It just looks fantastic. What really is special about this game is how well it adheres to the things that have made the Uncharted games on console great, as well as beating it in some areas. So the acting is excellent, just like the console games. The story is really solid, and the gameplay is pretty much pitch perfect, tit for tat with the console. The touch controls are sort of hit or miss, but they're completely functional and for the most part optional. What really sets this game apart from the console games, what this game does actually better, is making you feel like the adventurer that Drake is supposed to be. So searching and collecting treasures actually serves a purpose and completes side mysteries and fleshes out the story and the history of the area more. So it actually gives you incentive to run around and collect treasures. It's neat to see Drake's journal complete as you're playing it. You're completing the journal, as opposed to in the console games where the journal is magically completing itself as you progress through the story. So you feel like an adventurer. And it's really neat. It's easily one of the best games released in 2012 for the Vita. Coming in at number 2 is Persona 4 Golden. Persona 4 is the first great JRPG for the Vita, and the second best game for the Vita to be released this year, in my opinion. Anyone who's familiar with the Persona formula knows what to expect here. There's dungeon crawling and relationship building and boss battling, etc. Persona 4 does these things extremely well, with one of the best localizations I've ever heard in a Japanese RPG. The main cast is extremely likable, and they're all acted very, very well. The game is really long too, and just completing the main story without even doing the side quests takes you around 60 hours. So that's awesome. And overall, I feel that Persona 4 is easily one of the best Vita games to be released this year, and should be on everybody's top 5 list. This is the game, really. If you have any sort of inkling about JRPGs, this should make it into your top 5. And my number 1 pick for the year is LittleBigPlanet PS Vita. I've already reviewed LittleBigPlanet PS Vita on this channel in the LittleBigPlanet PS Vita versus New Super Mario Bros. 2 comparison video that I did, so most of you have already heard the praises I've sang for it. The game is just is full of so much polish and love at every turn. It runs great, it looks great, it sounds great, but what really sets it apart, just like all the other LittleBigPlanet games, are the community levels. the creators have gone beyond the confounds of creating levels for just Sackboy to explore and to go through. They're done with just creating platformers now, for a lot, many of them are, and they've started to create new types of games. So because of this, no matter what game I'm currently absorbed in, Little Big Planet Vita always finds a way to get back into my Vita, and just to check out what the community levels have, what my favorite creators have been up to, and things like that. I recently played a game called Scan to Heaven, which is in the cool or the cool level section, or the developer favorite section, or whatever. That is plays nothing like Little Big Planet at all. It plays like, you know, a 2D old school 8-bit ninja platformer, and it's awesome to see people finally get the hang of creating really unique levels like this that don't play anything like the game itself. So you just never know what to expect when you hop on. And because of this, it's easily the best game to be released on PlayStation Vita in 2012, according to this YouTuber. So there you have it. That's my top 5 for the Vita this year. Be sure to check back on Sunday, where I'll be doing a year in review for both 3DS and Vita. And I'll be comparing the review scores, their sales, and other important aspects to happen to the portables in 2012. So what's your top 5 list for the Vita? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys.